7:51 on this Monday morning. In response to the rising cost of living facing Jamaicans and the increase in the prices of imported products, the Seprod Group says it will be cutting the price of one of its major packaged drinks.
Well, Seprod today reduced the price of its Cool Fruit brand of packaged drinks by 33% from $30 to $20. And that cut, the company says, is aimed at increasing its market share, pushing for increased export growth and engaging in import substitution.
Recall that the company recently announced investment of $360 million in its subsidiary, Search Island, which produces various lines of beverages, including Cool Fruit and Swizzle. You know, I bought 3 Cool Fruit juices yesterday, so I didn't benefit from the price reduction.
Oh, not yet.
I'm so foolish. The CEO of Seprod, Richard Pandohie, joins us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. Thank you for having me.
Good, you're more than welcome.
So how is it that Seprod is able to afford this price cut?
Well, a couple of things happening. Our thing is that we decided that we'll look at what's happening in the landscape. In order for us to be more competitive in a sustainable way going forward, we need to get to a certain level of economy of scale. And for that to happen, we have to increase our market share. Now, what Seprod has done is look at the landscape and decided that we want to be a significant player, not just in Jamaica, but in the wider Caribbean, in Central America, and the diaspora. And so we've made these investments, almost a chicken and egg scenario. We've made investments, we've brought on additional resources to drive our costs down, and now we need to fulfill that pipeline with volumes. Essentially, that's the story.
You know, the product life cycle, Mr. Pandohie, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. I ask, which stage of the life cycle is the Cool Fruit brand in?
Well, I mean, for me, it's in a growth mode. I mean, you look at the level of, I read where William Mafood said this morning that basically you look at the level of imports and what the investment has been made in manufacturing capability and capacity in Jamaica. There's still a huge amount of room, even for local sales. When you look at what's happening in a wider cross-section of the society, I mean, outside of Jamaica, the juice category is increasing in all forms. I mean, you're moving from less sugar to more health-conscious juice. You can have dairy beverages. So there are different niches and different categories within the juice market that allows you to basically find niche. I mean, a product mature, you simply reinvent and come with another form that's relevant and a proper value proposition for the consumers.
You know, I asked that question because I was wondering if, you know that very well, that the aim for every marketer of every product is to keep it in the growth phase for as long as possible, because the only place after maturity is decline. You are reducing your prices. You say Cool Fruit is in the growth phase. So that is just one element of the plan, I'm assuming, to wrestle market share from the imported juices. What are the other main elements? What other fronts are you looking to fight on to claw back some of that market share from the imported juices?
Well, a couple of things. The platform that Seprod has set itself is that we're in growth mode. And to do that, we're looking at export growth and import substitution. But the fact is that you have to be competitive anywhere. And if you can't be competitive in your own backyard, then you have to be competitive in other people's backyard. So what we're doing is driving for productivity. So, we've had some benefits. The price of energy has gone down. Last year, this time, we're paying 39 US cents per kilowatt. Oh, it's down to like 23 cents. So we have had benefits that as a manufacturer entity we're not taking to the bottom line. We're reinvesting back in our system to drive competitiveness and pass this on to consumers. I mean, one issue we have in Jamaica is that consumers only see things when they're going the wrong way. We never ever see the benefits when things are coming down.
A part of your strategy is also increasing exports, I presume.
Absolutely. So
this price cut makes you very competitive, yes, here in Jamaica, but how does it impact the markets to which you export?
This is also a competitive price in the export market because, I'm looking at the low-cost producers in Central America, for example, the Guatemalas and the Costa Ricans, and saying, how can I get my product into those markets? How can I be competitive? We have a great brand Jamaica. How can we utilize that brand in a cost-competitive way? I mean, Jamaica unit cost of production has been high. price of the product in Jamaica is just generally high when you compare it to some of the regional partners and Central America partners.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking to be competitive, not just in Jamaica, but outside of Jamaica.
And of course, when you look at the products that Cool Fruit competes with, are you now the cheapest or among the cheapest in that category?
We're definitely, I don't like to use the word cheap. We definitely offer a lot of, offer the best value for the market.
Yes. More affordable. That's what they like to say.
We're offering the best value proposition in the market. That translates at this point in time to the best price. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So tell me now, I was like everybody else, I was surprised by the 4 billion approximately worth of packaged drinks which are imported into the country from the region, which leads me to ask the other question, the obvious question really. What's the value of the packaged drinks industry in Jamaica? If imports are close to 3.7 billion, what's the overall cake? Size of the cake?
That is something we're all trying to figure out because, you're going to the wholesale trade and the retail trade, what they call the liquid stocks, whether it's soft drinks, bag juice, etc. Mm-hmm. It's staggering. And I am personally, the $4 billion of import, when you look at that and try to extrapolate, you're trying to say, this business is easily a $25 to $30 billion business.
So, is it that the 3.7 billion, that it has built up to this figure, the approximately 4 billion figure over time because of an inability of local manufacturers such as yourself, such as Bilma Food and Wisinko to meet this supply, forcing retailers to have to buy from overseas? Is that the case?
You look back and you're not absolutely sure the answer to that, but I think in general we just got caught with our pants down. And other people saw the opportunity in Jamaica before we actually reacted properly. And in recent times, you have seen Lasco reacted with significant investment in their capacity. You've seen my food through Wisinko reacting. I think now the Jamaican manufacturers seeing what's happening. And at the end of the day, we need Jamaica to grow. The growth is the new mantra out there. And it's in a real way we have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
People have to understand that imports effectively represent an export of our jobs.
Well, speaking of import substitution is a big part of your strategy as well. What are some of those things that you currently import to manufacture your products that you're going to be substituting with local goods?
Well, we have a wide portfolio in our group of companies, and across the board, we have been, we're reflecting whether it's in snack, whether it's grains, in the juice category. In the juice category, we definitely going further up the value chain, for example, in the dairy side of it. Moving, not just focusing on milk as a whole, but going to milk-based things that we're importing quite a bit of. The yogurts, the whipping cream. I keep talking about whipping cream because that one is, fascinating. $2 million of whipping cream imported into this country. 0% share from local manufacturing. I have a dairy plant. Shame on me.
Yes, indeed. You cannot be investing 5 billion over time, Richard Pandohie, without employing people. In the grand plan, how many extra hands do you think you'll be needing to carry this expanded, streamlined operation that you have planned to fund to the tune of $5 billion?
Let me put this in context, and let's back up a little bit. One of the issues that we have in Jamaica is we're talking about employment of people, but we also need to look at the quality of employment that we're affording. When I came back to Jamaica in the early 90s as an engineer, you could find engineering jobs. Engineers now can't find any work.
Yes.
You have to be in sales or marketing or in distribution because manufacturing entity has disappeared. So in terms of quality, this investment we made in search and the equipment that we just put in, we searched far and wide and we found some talented Jamaicans living overseas that we're able to bring back home, engineers. So in the grand scheme of things, I expect our net employment of technical capability to increase in the region of around, we expect to bring around 40 to 50 engineering type persons, technical persons.
Yes.
As it speaks to the overall Seprod group employment, we're evaluating all our portfolio of companies. Some companies have to become more efficient. Our productivity has to improve. That might mean, more output for the same number of people or the same output for less number of people. So overall, we're definitely going to add to the workforce. But I'm looking at the quality of the people that we're employing will be a lot higher than just looking for, the lower level end of the employment scale.
All right. Thank you this morning. I must let you know that I drink Surge Island milk religiously. If it's not on the shelf, I don't want any other milk, yeah? So
I thank you very much, and I'll continue to make sure it's on the shelf.
Excellent, sir. Thank you this morning.
Thank you, and all the best, guys. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Richard Pandohie, CEO of the Seprod Group. Cool fruit. Cheaper. So, Jeremy, you can put cool fruit in your lunch kit now, yeah? All right. That's the front page.